Good morning. I am here at the Greensburg First United Methodist Church. I got that right?
That's correct.
It's a very brisk morning, but we're nice and warm, and I'm sitting here with Pastor
Kevin Haley.
And very nice to meet you, and thank you for
Good to see you, David.
taking the time for me. I appreciate this. First of all, I just have to say, and I've been here before because I sing with the Irwin Male Chorus. I've been in this church before, but it is just stunning. You could not build this today if you wanted to.
No, you sure couldn't. The cost, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine what the cost would be.
It is just a beautiful, beautiful church. Do you know how old the building is?
Well, that's a very good question. The congregation itself started in 1799. This building's not that old. I think it was around the beginning of the 19th century. And in the 1930s, the roof burned, and they had to replace that. So,
okay.
Yeah, so at least it's about...
Apparently a sinner walked in.
Right, correct. Correct. Yeah, a lot of stone outside, so yeah.
I've heard that before at my own church. Well, if I walked in there, the roof would cave in, apparently the wrong guy walked in. Now, what is the physical address of this church?
We're located at 15 East 2nd Street in Greensburg. It's near the intersection of East 2nd and Maple Avenue. Cat-a-quarter across Maple is the YMCA. People seem to know where the Y is. So, yeah.
And it is just beautiful on the inside and the outside as well. It's stunning.
Thank you.
That being said, what are the times of your services?
We have two Sunday morning services, 8:30 and 10:45.
All right. And do you have any, with Easter season coming up, do you have any things planned for the Lenten season?
Well, sure. We have Ash Wednesday. We'll start our season of Lent. We'll do a 7 o'clock service here. The day before, some churches call Fat Tuesday. I don't like to call it that, being the size I am. So
that's sizes.
That's right.
That's just
exactly right.
Exactly.
But we have a pancake supper, and we call it flannel and flapjacks.
Right.
So we encourage people to wear a flannel shirt, come and have flapjacks together, and it's a blast. We have a good time with it.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it raises money for camperships. We send children and youth to church camp in the summer. So yeah.
Oh, I think that's awesome.
So,
what time is that?
That'll be Tuesday, February 21st from 5 to 7. So
5 to 7.
wear your flannel coming out, get some flapjacks. There we go.
Oh, terrific.
Then Ash Wednesday begins the season of Lent. We'll do a worship services, of course, every Sunday. I was mentioning you right beforehand, March 3rd, right near the beginning of Lent, I'm going to have shoulder replacement surgery. So for 3 Sundays, I'm going to be out. I have a good retired pastor friend, Reverend Amy Twigg, who will be filling in for me those Sundays. When I told her about it, I said, I just don't think I can shoulder the responsibility of Lent this year. She's like,
I like a good pun.
Yeah.
That was not a good pun.
That was not a good pun. But yeah, so I'll be watching for a few Sundays myself, live streamed, and being able to be back. I think by the last Sunday of March, I'll be able to preach at Easter, Palm Sunday and Easter as well. We have a Good Friday service, 7 p.m. That's a service of Tenebrae. And the community does a Way of the Cross at 11:30 on Good Friday. It starts at the courthouse, winds its way through town with somebody portraying Jesus.
I think that's neat.
Right, it's very cool.
I think that's neat. That's just not your church, that's several churches
ecumenical, correct,
going
yes.
together and making that happen.
Right.
I often wonder what people that don't know anything about, and we do have a whole generation of people who don't know anything about the crucifixion, what they think about that. That's awesome. And maybe it'll spark some questions, and they'll ask the right questions.
Could be.
They'll be drawn closer to Christ.
Right.
Now, how long have you been at this church?
I came here in July of 2019, so about 7-8 months before COVID hit. I was mentioning that I was just getting to know people's names, and then we're gone for 3 months, and then they come back wearing masks. I'm like, can you put your name on the mask? That would really help me. But yeah. But when we got called to come to Greensburg, the United Methodist Church is an appointment system. We're appointed kind of like the bishops appoint Catholics. So we were in Clarion, and we had just been there 5 years, and we were told we're going to be moving, and we're like, we don't want to move. But then they told us Greensburg, and we thought, we'll go in a heartbeat. I've served 2 churches in this area in the past, for 7 years in New Stanton and 10 years in North Huntington. So I'm located within half an hour of 2 churches I serve. So Greensburg feels like home.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Your old stomping grounds.
It is. So yeah. We love being back this way. Greensburg, just a wonderful community. I had somebody when I first came said, now you're working in the heart of the city. Be very careful. It's the city.
Ooh, yeah.
And I thought, my first appointment was Wilkinsburg. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be all right.
Somehow you will survive.
I think I'll make it. That's right.
That's tremendous.
No, it's a beautiful community.
Oh, it absolutely is, and I love Westmoreland County. If you want 4 distinct seasons, move to Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania.
A lot of times all in the same month.
Yeah, the same day,
That's
actually.
right.
So now, you just told me before we turn the camera on, you're soon to celebrate your 40th, or have you already celebrated your 40th year of ministry?
That'll be next year. This year was my 39th year of ministry, so next year, 2024, will be 40 years in full-time ministry.
He was 8 at the time.
Exactly right. I like him.
So you grew up in the United Methodist Church before you were a minister?
Yes, I grew up in Mercer, rural Mercer County, went to church in Sharon, went to Grove City College, where I met my wife, even though it was Presbyterian. It was my free will to go there, just kidding. My wife was Presbyterian, so I married her. We've been married, it was 40 years last year. They'll be 41 in this May.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
To her and to you.
Oh, yeah, she's a saint. She's a saint made up for that. So.
You mentioned your wife.
Yes,
her
name is Amy.
Amy, and you have 2 sons?
2 sons. Christopher is a philosophy professor. He lives in Carnegie with his wife, Julie. They've been married for 12 years. No grandchildren. They go kayaking a lot, so they say the kayaks are our grandchildren. I'm like, you can't.
What a jip!
You can't rock a kayak in a rocking chair. I'm just saying.
You can, but they lock you away.
That's right. So yeah, Chris and Julie live there, and our youngest son Greg lives up in Bradford, Pennsylvania. He has a great job with Case Knives up in Bradford. So
yeah. Oh, terrific. Yeah. Sounds like you're a very proud papa.
They're 2 great boys.
Now, one of the purposes of having these interviews is to encourage people to get back to church.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, we were all shut down, and it's hard. I know once you get out of the habit, although it's been 2 years, I was hoping you could give an encouraging word to those that are on the fence of coming back to church.
Absolutely. I mean, we were very blessed to be able to do live stream, which we still do, and that's for folks who just can't get out because they're still maybe got some immune deficiencies or they're elderly and just can't, maybe they weren't getting out before. But I know there are folks out there in their living room in their pajamas watching the church service because it seems more comfortable, and that's fine. You're still worshiping, but you're missing the fellowship of the body of Christ. We're called to meet together. And we take a lot of precautions here. We still have, oh my gosh, what do you wipe your hands with? We've been doing that for 3 years.
So my pants usually.
Yeah. So we've got all that stuff to sanitizer, that's the word, sanitize hands. Our custodians keep the place very clean, wipe things down. So we take all those precautions. Plus it's a huge sanctuary. You can sit 6 to 10 feet away from someone if you wish to, or you could be right next to them. We'd love to have people come back to church. If not this church, any church in our area.
Oh, absolutely. We need to return to We need to return to churches. It's funny what you just said. You ever been in a movie theater or a church? You're all by yourself, and then somebody comes and sits in the same room.
Right?
Why?
Right in front of you. Like really?
You can't be that cold, and I don't have that much body warmth to do anything for you.
Exactly.
So
I was just our staff was talking last week about our live stream. We have 2 different cameras, and we got a big system we worked up. But the very first Sunday we live streamed, Palm Sunday of 2020, we didn't have anything. So in front of our pulpit, I put a 10-foot step ladder with my laptop balanced on top, and that's how we did the service. So.
I can relate because I wasn't prepared for this. I never wanted to film my services. I'm too afraid of saying the wrong thing and then getting out there and then.
Who knew we were going to become televangelists? On the streets.
If you think about it, in March of 2020, thousands of studios opened up.
No, they really did.
And we're all in competition with one another to see who's watching who. Yeah. I hope we never have to go back to those days.
Oh, I hope not either. I love the church. I love being with people. That was really hard during that season when we were shut down. Sometimes if I go to the grocery store, somebody said, "Oh, we see you every week." And I'm like, "That's great. I don't see you."
Yeah, it's like a stalker.
I don't see you.
As long as I'm not seeing you from the bushes of your house or whatever.
Right.
So what's your favorite thing about the ministry? What really brings you joy?
Oh my, it's seeing that light come on in people's eyes when they first realize who Jesus is and what Jesus has done for them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. For kids, youth, adults, I just love making that connection.
That's a good answer.
It is.
That is a good answer.
A lot of people know the United Methodist Church is going through a lot of upheaval right now, and we've had discussions about that here and other areas. I usually just come down to the end of the discussion. It's like, guys, I just want to tell people about Jesus.
Yeah.
This other stuff we can set aside.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
just
sort of getting lost in the discussion.
exactly. All those things are above my pay grade. My job's to bring you to the foot of the cross. We're all on equal ground there, and let Jesus work on your heart. And again, that's above my pay grade to do that. So, but
I have to say I've enjoyed our
Yeah.
short interview here. I do
fun.
appreciate your time. It's been fun getting to know you.
Yeah.
And until next time, God bless.
Thank you very much. God bless.